Welcome back to more powerboating adventures with members of the Florida Powerboat Club here on YouTube. This is Stu Jones, and we are featuring part 2 of the Fort Myers Poker Run 2019 edition. It's our 4th stop on the 2019 calendar. We've been down to the Florida Keys in January, the Miami Poker Run in February, over to Tampa in March, and now back in Fort Myers as we continue on this Powerboating in Paradise series presented by Mercury Racing, Wide Open. In our last episode, we had highlights from the Friday Fun Run, along with the Nortec Owners Rally, which went to Usepa Island. And then on Saturday morning, we were back in the boats and heading northbound. Had just done our second poker card checkpoint at Redfish Pass near Sanibel Island. So now for part 2 of our Fort Myers Poker Run feature coverage, we are going to continue chasing down this 35-boat fleet from the helicopter as they head northbound to Boca Grande for our next card checkpoint and a wonderful lunch at the Eagles Grill. So let's kick things off as we head through Pine Island Sound, heading north now from Captiva Island as we catch up with the rest of the boats. I'm going to be official chase boat today here in the Cigarette Project 1080. That means I'm following the pack, making sure everything is going smoothly. I've got my son Tyler with me now, hanging out for the day. He's helping me out with the poker run, and of course a couple of our FPC girls, which is much to Tyler's approval. But enjoying the Project 1080 as much as I have now on the 4th run on its tour of duty, which began in January of 2019 with the Winter Poker Run. Now on our 4th poker run, and many more planned ahead for the rest of 2019 as we get set to tour all over the country and campaign this Mercury Racing sponsored Twin 540 stern drive powered cigarette. Well, we said earlier there'd be a lot of Nortecs on this run, and sure enough, here is Gary and Nancy Robertson from Maine in their My Diamond Nortec 527, powered by Mercury Racing 1350s, and they're just out on cruise control right now. And we're always going to see a lot of skaters on these poker runs. Here's Dan DeSantis, his first time on the Fort Myers run, but certainly not his first poker run with the Florida Powerboat Club. This is a Skater 388. This one's powered by Mercury Racing 1100s, which seems to be the ideal package for this 38-foot cat, one of the most popular models from the Skater lineup. We'd expect to see more skaters here on this run, but we just finished the Tampa Bay Poker Run a few weeks earlier, which had at least 7 or 8 skaters attending. Those of you who follow powerboat racing would know that Danny DeSantis was a former powerboat racer for many years, but for the last decade he's been enjoying poker runs with the Florida Powerboat Club. And once again, another Nortec. This one a Nortec Supercat, a 3600. Team Germany is Karsten Bolebke. I hope I said that right. He's been doing a number of poker runs. In fact, he joined us for the Key West Poker Run in 2018 and back again now flying transatlantic here to Fort Myers to join us for this weekend run. And it just so happens he has another German national on board, Frank Schielen, who's a longtime club member, and he's using this event as a shakedown run to see if he's going to like this Nortec. If all goes well, Frank is going to do the deal and buy this Nortec Supercat and hopefully join the Florida Powerboat Club on some poker runs in the very near future. So hope you guys do a good job and shake hands on the deal, because we want to keep seeing this Nortec here on these Florida Powerboat Club events. And flying this concept flag proudly, Noel and Gretchen Speranza with this 4400 concept center console powered by Mercury Racing 400Rs. What a beautiful setup, and what an ideal boat for cruising, not only just for one-day poker runs, but for multi-day trips like we go to the Bahamas. Look at the size of that forward cabin, all the space in this boat. You can bring all your friends and still have the creature comforts down below to get out of the hot air into some AC and have a bathroom and a little stove to cook some snacks up. Not a bad deal if you're looking for the all-purpose center console. This Concept 4400 has really delivered all of the features that this family needed for a great Florida boating lifestyle, and they are enjoying it. Let's welcome back George and Ann Ariano from Ocala, Florida. That's right, OGP. That stands for Ocala Grand Prix. That's a famous go-kart track there where they race national teams and hold big events. But when George is not running the go-kart track, he's running his boats. He's got a fleet of high-performance boats, including this 35 DCB Cat powered by Mercury Racing 700s. And George has 2 other boats registered here on today's run. We're going to see them shortly. And proving once again that we give everybody fair time with the helicopter. Back with Gary and Nancy Robertson. We only had about 15 seconds in that earlier clip. This one's going to last a little longer. Once again, this big Nortec is a flagship of the fleet called the 527. That's 52.5 feet long with a 9.5-foot beam, and big Mercury Racing 1350s, which will push this boat well over 100 miles an hour, and you can bring all your friends at the same time. But they're just cruising right now, taking it easy, having a nice ride, and enjoying this beautiful April weather here in Southwest Florida. And let's welcome back Chris and Jennifer Grant from Ontario, Canada. They're back again. They seem to like this event in Fort Myers and having fun now today on their 42-foot Fountain Lightning, a boat that they brought on a lot of Florida Powerboat Club events. They brought it on the Key West Poker Run on at least a couple of occasions, and back here again for their second, perhaps their third year in a row here in Fort Myers. We may see Chris disappear for just a little bit as he goes off racing with the Race World Offshore set. He's got himself a big catamaran to go out and campaign, so we might see him disappear so we can enjoy racing. But you know, guys, I know how this works. He'll be back real soon, because that racing, well, it's fun, but it will gobble up that wallet really fast. And here's a boat that will not gobble up your wallet. It's a 30-foot Spectre Cat, a pair of Mercury Racing 300XS outboards. Kind of a little racing package, really, if nothing else. But this is the Wittenberger family. They had planned to attend the event in their 36-foot Sonic center console. John Sr. said, well, that boat was getting some work done on it. So Junior brought along his 30-foot Spectre Cat and saved the day. And they're having a great ride today. Team Bad Decision has been on a number of other poker run events with the club, including the Key West Poker Run 2018. And I think this is a perfect time for a really great shout out to the Wittenberger family. Very dedicated powerboaters who love joining the Florida Powerboat Club. Their record of attendance is, above all, is superb. They've done at least 5 or 6 events a year for the last few years in either one or both boats. Great shot here from the helicopter with the GoPro as Joe and Pete zoom in on Team Bad Decision. And now we're catching up with Niels Johnson from the Nortec factory, one of our co-founders who we've known now for, going on 25 or 26 years. Great to ride with Niels. Every once in a while I get a chance to jump on with him on his newest boat. This one, a brand new 34 Nortec center console, powered by not Mercury Racing, but Mercury Marine outboards. That's right, the new 300 V8s. So technically he stepped outside the Mercury Racing family here for this event by trying out these new motors on his 340 Sport. Now, this was a sharp contrast to the boat I rode with Niels on last year. It was a 34 Club Sport, new model, powered by triple Mercury Racing 400Rs, and he had us going about 86 to 88 miles an hour in that 34 center console. That was a wild ride. I remember it very well. As we now join Jim and Lynn Archambault from Georgia, it reminds me of a boat in the club that was once called Rooster Tails and Cocktails. Well, we certainly have the Rooster Tail covered here with this Outer Limits 43, powered by Ilmor V10s, of course, a staggered setup, which helps to give that big rooster tail. But of course, we left out the word cocktails in this equation because we're not cocktailing today. We're on a poker run. It's for fun, and we have to keep our wits about us, so we're going to leave the cocktails at the bar, and we're going to enjoy them later tonight when all the boats are docked. Nice to see Jim and Lynn attending these events. Longtime supporters of the Florida Powerboat Club. Started with a performance V-bottom, went to a center console, and back now to another performance V-bottom, and seem to be loving this Outer Limits. Let's say hi now to Dave Racebeck, who's a local here. He's got a home right here on Sanibel Island, very close to where we're at right now. Take note of this Nortec 390 Sport. It's got all the features that anybody who does poker runs would enjoy having. It's got the extended T-top or the longer roof line, and it's got the twin bolster setup, so you got lots of room for everybody standing in a bolster for comfort. And he's got that big setup of quad Mercury Racing 400Rs. Well, you can't do much better than that in April, but in May when the new 450Rs come out, well, things could change dramatically. Let's just wait and see. And we're going to catch up now with Mark and Eileen Fisher and their $3.99 Deep Impact. Sponsors of this event, and in fact, sponsors of the entire 2019 series. That's why we call them a series sponsor, along with their sister company, Blackwater Boats, both built in Miami in the same factory, and longtime supporters of the Florida Powerboat Club. This $3.99 center console is a relatively new model added to the lineup about 2 years earlier, and since then has been really very well accepted by the Deep Impact owners. In fact, they've sold several of them already. 2019 going to be one of their strongest years, most of them coming out with quadruple Mercury Racing 400Rs, and that's going to be the way they build these until the 450s come out, and then we're going to probably see a quad 450 boat, I'm guessing, at the Key West Poker Run. But thanks again to Deep Impact, one of our longtime sponsors with the club. We appreciate all the support you give us, and we're really happy to see that you're doing well with the performance boat crowd, especially this new 399 model. And with the growing trend and popularity towards outboard power, Raymond Roberts from R Performance in Ontario has decided to take his Nortec 3600 Supercat and give it a whole new breath of fresh air with these 4 Mercury Racing 400s in lieu of those big stern drive IOs, number 6 drives. He took a lot of power and a lot of weight out of this boat, and this is the first time that we've all had a chance to set eyes on this new creation. I haven't had a chance to find out for Raymond just exactly how well it ran, but it certainly does attest to having reliability and certainly a lot lighter and easier to manage. So I just want to know what you're going to do with all that extra storage room with those big V8s missing. And our other fellow Canadian team, Meaghan MPR Barroso, also from Ontario, with their big Nortec 40 Roadster, which has been re-rigged with Mercury Racing 1350s. Had 1200s when they purchased the boat, but I think they found that the 1350s have been the right answer for this 40 Roadster. They call the boat Team Central Time Zone, which is a nice play on the words. They own a marina in Midland, Ontario called Central Marine. Jackie and I and the family have had a chance to visit them there, and we had a wonderful time cruising around on the beautiful waters of Georgian Bay. Now let's say hi to David Gordon and his crew on Team Mistreated, another Nortec 39 center console. This one powered by triple Mercury Racing 400Rs. A beautiful boat. Love the paintwork. If any of you watched the Key West Poker Run 2018, that was David's first event with the club, and somehow we managed to get a lot of video of this boat. But what you can't see, along with these silver and green graphics and the black bottom, if you were to fly around to the other side with the helicopter, you'd see that those green graphics are replaced by orange graphics, which I think is a nice twist. Something I think more of us should do to be a little more creative with our designs and our paint schemes. He did the exact same thing on a custom motorcycle that he had Niels Johnson design and build for him. And keeping that Nortec representation strong here, Daniel and Lana Dickert, also from Florida, in Lady Lana, 34-foot Nortec center console powered by Mercury Racing 400Rs. They've done a lot with this boat, have attended a number of poker runs, and I know that they're on the agenda to go with us to the Bahamas all the way to Nassau and back. So that'll be an exciting run that we're looking forward to. And special thanks to Daniel and Lana for being great supporters of our club. Well, just less than 30 minutes since our last checkpoint, we're now arriving at Boca Grande Marina, and it's going to be Eagles Grill where we have our lunch today, located right here at Boca Grande Marina. And unless you're looking for it, you're probably not going to find this little gem of a marina. You need to have local knowledge, and you need to know exactly where you're going, because it's not noticeable going through the ICW. You got to come into this little bayou. A beautiful Saturday in April here on the west coast of Florida. We are at Boca Grande Marina, one of our favorite places to go on this poker run that we've done, I don't know, 4 or 5 times in a row now. And we keep coming back to Boca Grande Marina and having lunch up here at the Eagle Grill, Miller's Dockside. Very popular place here in this part of the world, and you know, it's a great boating destination. Come here for lunch. We had a good ride today, a little bit of rough offshore. Most of us got back off into the inside route and came up through the bay waters. That's what's great about boating here. If it's bumpy and nasty offshore, then you can just come on inside. We came in through Redfish Pass and had a nice ride on the inside. So a lot of boating traffic out there today, a lot of big boats, a lot of big yachts, a lot of big sport fishing boats, so you got to be careful of the wakes. But as long as you do your job and keep a straight line, this is a great place to go. The weather is fantastic, not a cloud in the sky. Everybody's having a good time. Hey, Polly, how you doing? And I think that this is probably one of those places that everyone can agree it just doesn't get any better. I've already heard from some of the people that said they had some food, they loved the food, it was a top 10. One of the guys said, Stu, it doesn't get any better than this. So I think we're doing our job here at Florida Powerboat Club here on this April Fort Myers poker run. And of course, it goes without saying before we depart that we really have to thank the staff here at Boca Grande Marina for rolling out the red carpet. It's not a very big marina to begin with. Coming in here with about 35 powerboats pretty much fills them up, and we do have to thank them for making an effort to get us all accommodated. This is why it works so well every year after year. But if we started getting up to 50 or 60 boats, I think we'd be in trouble, guys. Look, with the size of these boats, like these big MTIs, it doesn't take long to fill up these docks. Let's talk about the card stop now, because we are going to give out poker card number 3 here, and the drone is going to fly and capture this entire segment. And I just love how the wide-angle lens of the drone makes this 38 skater look like a 50-foot skater as we cross over Danny DeSantis and his crew while they idle up to the dock for a poker card. Of course, card number 3 is going to be here at Boca Grande Marina, but we added another stop on the agenda today. We're going to be heading actually further to the north to a place we once visited, Gasparilla Marina, where we'll get card number 4. So let's enjoy the visuals as these poker run teams come up one by one and get their lucky card here from our beautiful FPC girls. I really enjoy watching this segment to see the really different types of powerboats that are attending this run, and pretty much commentary on all of the FPC events and poker runs in general, like this Nortec, this 34 Nortec with triple outboards, and then along comes a big Nortec Super Cat with big power, 140 mile an hour cat. And that's really the way things are going to continue here with the Florida Powerboat Club. The disparity in speeds is, well over 100 miles an hour from the fastest to the slowest boats. But we've got that handled with our different classes. We've had 3 different classes for about 5 years running now. We're adding yet a 4th class, which was a twin engine class for center consoles, because I think a lot more people are going to the center console format. It's more practical for many people and for their boating lifestyle. And if we can make it work where they can still do poker runs, then it adds a lot more flavor to their boating lifestyle. This shot here, I think, really illustrates the point. You know, a big Nortec 450 center console in the foreground, a couple of fast cats in behind, and then you see some high-performance V-bottoms, you know, that are like Outer Limits and cigarettes that are going 80, 90, 100 miles an hour, and they're actually the slower boats. The big MTIs and the big skaters are running 130, 140 all day long. And to be able to have a poker run and to yet accommodate all of these different class of boats and still have something for everybody, I think that is really to me anyway, that's the formula that really got us this far. That you can take like a former race boat like this big 50-foot Cat Envy, full canopy Mercury Racing 1550s, and put it alongside a 34 Nortec, and everyone is still having the same fun poker run experience. That would never happen in racing, and that's why I think the poker run format really works, and it has really expanded the Florida boating lifestyle for so many people, and it's helped our club to realize our dreams, you know, beyond our wildest dreams anyway, to have, you know, 600 or more active members, and to be able to say yes to anybody who says, I want to join your club, you know, does my boat fit? Well, yeah, we're going to make it fit. If we have to create a class to make it fit, we will. But I just enjoy how far we've come, almost 30 years now with the club. And an event like this event in Fort Myers and running up here to Boca Grande really, to me, make it all worthwhile, and just say, you know, just look at how much fun everyone's having. Doesn't matter what you're in. Just come on out and have fun and come and play. Be safe and be nice, and you'll go a long way with this club. Okay, looks like we are wrapping up the card segment here at Boca Grande Marina. Going to say farewell for another year or perhaps more, depending on when we're scheduled to come back. But here's a nice shot. Look at that golf course in the background. Boca Grande is just, I think, a little gem of a place that people don't even realize it's here, but it's just so spectacular. What a scenic little community and a wonderful place to visit. Back out on the waterways, though, as we head towards the intracoastal now, remember that we are still in the protected waters, Boca Grande being a barrier island, so we have calm protected waters all the way as we head northbound. And if we were to keep going, we would eventually head up towards Venice, Inglewood, and then Venice, and then Sarasota. But we're going to stop as far as Gasparilla. I believe that as the crow flies, it's about a 12 or 13-mile ride to go further north. But it just added that extra bit of mileage to take this run over 100 miles and make it really an ideal length of a poker run for the kind of boats that are here today. Next stop, Gasparilla Marina, just about a 15-minute ride northbound from Boca Grande. I went ahead with Project 1080 so we could get on point and get the poker cards ready for the group. So I snuck away during that last card segment so I could take my time and just cruise up the ICW waterways. Our lovely ladies jumped on board this Nortec. I believe it's Greg Bent's boat, 39 Sport with quad Mercury Racing 350s. This is Joe on board doing the video. He's normally going to be up in the helicopter, but thought he'd ride along and get some nice boat-to-boat camera footage here for this next segment. And if you want to look on the map, for those of you who are into your geography, this is the town of Placida, Florida. A little bit off the beaten path, I'd say, over here on the coastal waters here of the Gulf Coast as we take a look at Envy, that big 50-foot Mystic. And even though it's spring now, April, it's still very, very warm, well into the 80s today, as everyone seems to be enjoying this beautiful weather. But back to Placida and the Gasparilla Marina. We have stopped here before. I remember making it a card checkpoint, 3 or 4 years ago, and all we can afford to do here is a touch and go. Nothing really to do here to stop. They do have a restaurant, but not enough room to dock 35 boats, so we're going to skip that. And that is on the plan for the next stopover when we head back to Usepa Island for our final stop today. Meanwhile, just catching these boats as they come and go through this little entry channel. And let me tell you, this marina here, Gasparilla Marina, is one huge place. You'd never really expect such a large marina in what appears to be a small town, but I will say this, there's a lot of boaters over here on these coastal waters here in the Gulf Coast, and in this particular area, this is the biggest marina, bar none. I think they have close to 1,000 boats in this marina, which we're about to see. And here we are dockside as Team Excuses. Bill Betts and his 48-foot MTI pull up and get their poker card. We've got our two lovely ladies. It looks like it's Stephanie on the right, and that's Cabrina on the left. A whole new round of FPC girls here joining us for their very first time on a Florida Powerboat Club event. And, of course, this provides an entirely different perspective as we film right here from the dock as each team comes up for their poker card. Just a little different than using the drone like we did in our previous checkpoint. But we're going to save all this excitement for our next episode, which will be part 3 with feature coverage of our Fort Myers poker run. Meantime, we're going to say farewell and hope you enjoyed this part 2 of the Fort Myers coverage here with the Florida Powerboat Club. Thanks to all the lovely ladies for wearing their bikinis. Thanks to all of our club members for supporting this event. And, of course, to all of our great sponsors for their continued support of the Florida Powerboat Club. This episode is brought to you by Mercury Racing. Thanks for watching. This is Stu Jones, and we look forward to seeing you guys on our next adventure with members of the Florida Powerboat Club. Be sure to check us out on YouTube. Remember to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell so you get all of the updates when new episodes come out. And, of course, here's all the places to find the Florida Powerboat Club on social media. We're on Instagram and on Facebook. Of course, you can check out the club website with the complete event schedule for 2020 at flpowerboat.com. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you soon. And the 3 most important things about powerboating, guys, is be safe, be nice, and always wear your life jackets. The Florida Powerboat Club's Poker Run event series and these YouTube episodes are presented by Mercury Racing Wide Open and by offleaseonly.com, the nation's used car destination, along with these leading marine industry sponsors.